Cheers, Jono.
Cheers.
Yeah, we're still watching the
Ceremony.
the ceremony in the
The
background.
medals.
Poor Stormers, hands on their heads, scratching their heads. Marnie Libbok just walking onto the stage. Some smiles.
Achievedine Money's smiling ear to ear. I don't know why. Just lost.
They'll be very disappointed. So will most South African URC supporters.
Not me.
Okay, calm down.
Look, in all seriousness, I have been more upset before by a South African loss. I'm not devastated.
Okay, let's just run through the game quickly. So, Munster started extremely well, but then Marnie Libbok scored from an intercept. She looked like a forward pass in any case.
Yeah, huge forward pass right into the bread basket, scored.
And you got to give it to Munster. They basically scored directly after that from a maul, from a good build-up. And they applied pressure in the second half, in the first half, all through the first half. It was all Munster basically. 12-7 half time after a second score by Munster, and then we said at half time the Stormers are going to have a really good half-time talk, and they scored a try through a maul by Dion Fourie to make it 14-12, and it was basically 14-12 for all of the second half.
Until Munster scored.
Until Munster scored in the 76th minute. That was basically
Munster, they just played the better rugby in my view.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a tactical thing. It didn't seem like the Stormers either executed their tactics well or they had a good tactical game plan to begin with, because a lot of the kicking, the tactical kicking was very aimless, and it just seemed very random to me. And Munster were very direct, I thought. In their attack, nothing flashy, just some good direct pressure play, and I just thought that they had the better game.
Yeah, look, they could have been ahead by more after the first half. There was a disallowed try for a double movement, which we sort of looked at it and said
could have gone either way.
It's a little bit down to interpretation. I didn't think that there was any push off the knees. I thought it was ball placement, but the referee felt there was.
I could see why they gave it.
It was a bit of a push off the elbow, maybe, or something like that. I could see
why they gave it, but
Peter Omani asked the question. He said, look, I thought it was fine, and he gave his explanation, and Omani said, okay, it's fine. A few other butchered opportunities. They could have been ahead by more.
Nice try with a cross kick. Nice lucky bounce, but a good try nonetheless.
By Nash, he had a good game as well.
No, very good. I just thought that they were relatively clinical. I thought the Stormers had the dominance for most of the second half, but they were unable to capitalize on that dominance. Without
doing too much with it.
And it was just basically they weren't able to retain the ball for long periods of time. They kicked the ball away a lot. It looked like meaningless kicks. Also, on attack, they got caught behind the advantage line a lot. And that was, to me, basically because of the way they try and play. A lot of Stormers love doing that. A lot of just throwing the ball and just hoping, someone's going to catch it, and then a lot of running backwards and sideways.
I think that sort of style came from desperation, from not being able to get over the advantage.
It looked bad. None of the Stormers backline players were direct. In their running,
you would have liked, in hindsight, there was a lot of hype about Dan du Plessis and Ruan Nel before the game, and you didn't really see either of them get into the game.
It might have been because of the field conditions.
Yes.
Because both of them looked relatively sluggish.
A lot of back foot ball for the line out.
Sure, and I just thought, I don't know, they weren't controlling the ball at the base of the ruck really well. And I just sometimes I question some of those Stormers players and how they, like Willemse was terrible today. In all fairness, and he loves. I've been critical of the way he plays for long now. He has moments of brilliance, but really running, doing fancy footwork behind the advantage line and running around backwards. it doesn't help. You've got to play direct. You've got to catch the ball, run direct, draw players, create phases. That's exactly what Munster did.
Yes.
Mani Libbok was just throwing the ball randomly at times. Some of those passes were Hail Marys. He threw two of them, just like halfway across the field, and was hoping. He was lucky a couple of times. Got a good intercept try. Missed a sitter of a conversion. I think it was it a penalty?
Penalty, yeah.
And then at the end there, he kicked the ball directly into the breadbasket of a Munster player, which led to their try.
Yeah.
What is that?
No, it's not good
Honestly,
enough.
it was extremely frustrating to watch, and it really, like, I hope
Kicked
Rassie
the
was
ball
watching that.
straight down the field quite a few times, right down the middle. I mean, we're trying to find out what the cause was of the loss here. We're not being super critical. We just, like, on the day, they weren't good enough. The decision making wasn't.
There was no real dominance. There was no physical dominance.
Yeah.
They were okay, good enough to compete in the forwards, I thought, but once they got it out to the backs, they were just... I think the Munster rush defence caught them, and then they were just...
That was a big thing. The Munster defence was absolutely
random
amazing.
Passes. It was like zero structure, no directness.
The Munster defence put them under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I think they won it in the second half by being able to defend so well. It
felt like a better quality side today, the Munster team. And in fairness, the Stormers were quite lucky to have the home ground advantage throughout the semis and the finals. That was basically out of their control, other teams winning.
Yeah.
And they should have capitalised on that. They did last week, the week before when they won the semis.
Yeah, look at us. We're just watching the celebrations now.
Yeah, and good for Munster, you know what I mean? Archie's the man.
Yes, Archie got a few nice offloads in and stuff.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look back to full fitness to me. He's a bit slow and stuff, but he's got a lot of talent. But I'm happy for these guys. I'm happy for Munster. They've got some quality players.
They had a slow start to the season. Had a new coach in Graham Roundtree, and they built momentum. And they closed the season off immaculately.
Really, they just went from strength to strength, and they
beat
done
Leinster
very, very well to come away from home and win. And I like Omani's
what a cool
no-nonsense
guy,
approach.
Peter Omani.
He just doesn't want to be interviewed anymore. He's like, leave me alone.
He's like, poor pitch.
Probably wants to get back home.
Poor conditions.
Sick of load shedding.
Slippery ball. Sick of load shedding.
No, he's cool. But well done to Munster.
The better team on the day.
No, for sure.
Definitely.
And what I loved about this game, personally, is that it gave the Springbok selectors a different thing to look at. Now they're going to see how some of those Stormers players they do in this kind of conditions, these kind of sluggish conditions, and how they do under pressure.
Yeah.
And so they've got a nice balanced view when they make their selections, because there was a lot of social media stuff out this week about, a lot of people put the full Stormers backline in as a Springbok backline, for example. That's
I think Ruiz had a little bit of a better game than in previous rounds. He had a few line breaks.
He had a positive, quite a positive impact.
He was one of the better players today.
Got around the outside quite well, but he's
but
anyway.
Pressure tells. Pressure, when you're under pressure, that's when you really have to perform.
Yeah, and that's some of their big players for the season just really buckled. And some of their consistent players played well. I thought Fourie had a quiet game. He was in there. He scored a nice try, and he was.
He got banged up a little bit. He seemed like he was.
I was in the wars a bit. Marvin Orie was not very impressive today. A lot of. It was a difficult game for the Stormers. They were just smothered.
Not their best day. Munster played really well, and especially I think they won it with great defence and keeping the ball. Jack Crowley, we mentioned. I think he should be the next guy in the 5 position for Ireland.
Yeah, he looks like the incumbent. To me, he looks like a more talented player than Burns. Burn. But I don't know what his kicking for post is like.
Yeah, he missed a kick as well, but missed a couple. Yeah.
That's what's going to be what
he made the crucial one right at the end to put them 5 points ahead, more than 5 points ahead, which meant that the Stormers had to score a try.
I would say overall, Irish rugby is in a good place.
Yes, no, definitely.
I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, South African rugby, I think, is in a bit of trouble, but at least we all know that we've got all of our big players at a sea still.
Yeah,
and none of them, many of them are playing in the URC, but many of them aren't.
The
Marks,
Chatnell
Buff,
will be
all
World
those guys
Cup
do
and
it.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. It's going to be interesting. Internationals are going to be quite interesting.
Yes,
that's the next step. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. All the finals are done, but yeah. Sorry for the Stormers. Not your day, and well done to Munster.
Yeah, and I hope they have a massive party in Cape Town.
Yes, they will most
tonight.
definitely.
Looks like the guys are here. So let's see.
Yeah, pumped. Cheers.
Okay.